PanicInspiration.com.
How many of you can remember crystal clear your first memory? I can. The sort of surrounding thing, the thing I was paying attention to, I remember. Everything around me is a little bit foggy, a little bit hazy. I remember I was 2 or 3, and I'm sitting on my uncle's living room floor, and I'm wearing my little windbreaker that we all had back in the 80s, and I remember the grown-ups were in another room, and I'm sitting in there with my teenage cousins, and they're laughing, and I don't remember why, but I felt like they were laughing at me. I don't know why. And I'm watching the TV. That's what I'm glued to. Everything else around me is just sort of, like I said, it's a haze. And I am watching Superman, the movie. The scene, the famous scene in the movie where he saves Lois Lane from falling off the top of the Daily Planet is happening. I don't remember him catching her. I don't remember the line, "You've got me, who's got you?" I don't remember the helicopter falling and her screaming. And then he reaches out and he grabs the helicopter with one hand and starts flying upwards, holding it. And the crowd cheers, and the John Williams score kicks in, and all of a sudden, my brain, my consciousness kicks into gear. And the first thing I ever think that I can remember is, he's real. I was convinced I was watching news footage or something. Now, the version of Superman that I was probably watching was Superman, what is now called the extended cut. What at the time was just basically them throwing in every deleted scene to make the movie 3 hours long so they could split it up over 2 nights. Movies used to do that for TV. They'd take a longer movie and make it basically like a mini-series. They did it with Godfather and things like that. Now, as you can see, this is my Superman the Extended Cut. Superman, a beloved feature film. And my Green Lantern the Extended Cut. I will have to talk about Green Lantern someday. I don't hate it. I know a lot of people do. I don't. Hence me owning it and pairing it with Superman. Superman has been part of my life since that moment. Probably before it. You know, if I'm recognizing Superman, if I'm thinking he's real, then I must have been familiar with Superman. I must have known who that was. I remember I had a light switch cover in my bedroom with Superman on it. So he must have been somebody that I was already a little bit crazy about. The movie has stayed a huge part of my life. Throughout my life, I've watched it I don't know how many times, but throughout my childhood and even into my adulthood, it's up there with Star Wars, with Goonies and Gremlins and RoboCop and Die Hard and Terminator and Back to the Future and Ghostbusters and all those 80s classics that, and I know this was from 1978, but all those classics from my childhood that I grew up with and that still really mean something to me today. Superman is at the top of that heap. There's something about it that is just magical and wonderful. Christopher Reeve, I honestly believe won't ever be topped. I know there's a lot of people. I even did a review of Man of Steel years ago with Tim Deanna, where we argued who was better, Christopher Reeve or Henry Cavill. This is just my opinion. Obviously, Christopher Reeve will always be my Superman, like Michael Keaton will always be my Batman. You know, to some extent, Tobey Maguire will always be my Spider-Man. But the thing is, Christopher Reeve embodied Superman in a way that very few actors ever in the history of cinema have done with a character from literature, from another media, and bettered him. When I think of like Atticus Finch, I think of Gregory Peck. When I think of Norman Bates, I think of Anthony Perkins. I don't think of the book. I don't think of that. I think of those actors. When I think of Superman, I think of Christopher Reeve. That is the first thing that pops into my mind, even before the comic book does. You know, the extended cut is hard to talk about. There are many different cuts of Superman. They came out with kind of a director's cut back when DVDs first came out. I've got a Superman collection that I showed off back when I did my review of Superman Returns. Big tin box set, like 14 discs, 4 of which are devoted to the first Superman movie and the various cuts of it. This was not included in that. So when it was announced that they were going to do the extended cut, the 3-hour version that played on TV that has everything in it, of course I had to get it. And it's long and it's clunky and there's stuff in there where you could see why it was cut out. The movie is muddied. The through line plot, which already Superman the movie, as far as a 3-act structure, is very complicated. You know, you've got the opening on Krypton and everything in Smallville, and that's kind of the first act, even though they feel so disconnected. Then you have Metropolis and Superman establishing himself, and then you have the stuff with Lex Luthor and the rockets and everything at the end. The extended cut is not like, for instance, the Lord of the Rings extended cuts. The Lord of the Rings extended cuts are the cuts to watch. That's what I would recommend to anybody who wants to watch Lord of the Rings. Watch the extended cuts. They take movies that were maybe like 3.5, 4-star movies and turn them into 5-star classics. Superman the extended cut, I can't really say that about it. But at the same time, it's everything that I love about Superman. It's all the stuff from, they don't cut anything out. If anything, it's too much of a good thing. For that reason, I'm going to give this version of Superman the movie 4.5 stars. Obviously, if I was reviewing particularly the Richard Donner cut from early 2000, that would be 5 stars. Unequivocally 5 stars. The extended cut is an oddity. I would recommend it to any Superman fan. Go out there, find it, watch it. It's interesting. You get to see everything. You get to see every little last bit that was filmed for this movie. I doubt there's a single shred of footage not in this version. But it's clunky, and it doesn't, the story gets very kind of bogged down. But it's Superman. And for anybody who wants to introduce their kids to comic book movies, this is it. Because it's gentle, because it's not... I love the Marvel movies and I love the movies, a lot of the comic book movies of today, but there's something about them where they're taking them away from kids. Kid can't sit there through Winter Soldier. You know, no kid wants to hear about the politics and, you know, the power plays and all of this stuff. They want to watch superheroes be superheroes and fight and do all this stuff. Superman the movie captures the magic of the character as he was originally intended, for children. And you don't have to be a child to enjoy that. If you're an adult and you're open to that kind of a magic, Superman the movie will take you back to a time when you were more innocent, where the world wasn't as dark, and you'll sit there and you'll smile, and things will seem okay for a while.
Their worlds. Sort of gave myself the challenge of, okay,